sometimes, as a freelancer, you have to pour cold water on a client's project. I'll learn to thrive in the gig economy. Would you like to learn too? Had an interesting conversation with one of my clients this week. She's got a very good company. She's doing very well. And she thought, hey, maybe it's time for me to write a book about my success. Some of her clients had actually said that to her. Hey, why don't you write a book about your success? She contacted me to ghostwrite. And I think she had visions of it being, 1 week project, get it over with, and that some big publishing company would just snatch it up within a week or two, and that it would be on the stands by Christmas time. And I told her that's not the way it works. Not at all. Not at all. The fact of the matter is, getting a book published is really hard. It's not easy to do. And it takes time. It takes a lot of time. She seemed surprised at the fact that I said to her, look, if you're not going to write it yourself, which I assume you're not, you're talking to me, you're the person who goes to write other things for you. I assume you want me to write a book about your success. First, we're going to have to schedule a number of interviews, and I'll have to interview you about growing up and how you started the company, what challenges you had, what you attribute your success to. We're going to have to go over some history, what lessons that you want to talk about, put in a little bit about your personal life now so that people see you as a real person, etc. And after those interviews, the interviews have to be transcribed. And that's going to take time because I'm not going to do it myself. You're going to have to pay somebody to transcribe all these hours of interviews. And then once I get it all back, I'm going to actually have to spend time writing a 50,000 word book. That's not something that's going to happen anytime soon. And that's if we get a publisher interested in it, which may not happen. I did explain to her that we could do some sort of self-published book, put it on Amazon, etc. She could sell through her company's website and things like that. But again, that still takes time. It still takes time, and it takes money. The cost is not going to be cheap. You're talking about my expenses, which would be pretty substantial because I'd be spending a lot of time writing this book. The time it takes to find an agent. I said if she wants me to be sending out query letters and trying to reach an agent and get an agent on her behalf, that's going to take time. I said whether you pay me or you pay somebody on your staff to do it, somebody's got to do it. That's going to take time and money. If you do the self-publishing, you're going to have to hire somebody to do a cover design. You're going to have a book packager basically put together the book for print on demand. And then you're going to have to pay to get it on Amazon. Or I said, there's money involved. It's going to be 4 figures, maybe 5 figures, depending on how long it takes. And then there's going to be months involved in this project. She's like, yeah, well, I'm just sort of blocking out, my next few months and next year, and I just wanted to, get a sense. So we left it as me sending her an outline or basically a project outline that, the steps that we could take and how much it might cost. Estimated. And she asked me to do some research on what agents or what publishers might be interested in a book about her company and her. But the fact of the matter is, I think she got like a real cold slap in the face when I was explaining all these things to her, that this is what goes on in a book. And so I don't know. I don't know. She said to send me this outline, send her this outline with an estimated cost. And we talk about it and probably wouldn't do anything about it until after the holidays once she realized how much a big deal this is. I'm not even so sure I'd want to write a book for her, but sometimes you got to do that as a freelancer. You got to say, hold on. Here's what actually goes into this project. You're excited about it now, but we're talking about a real commitment here, and it's going to be a lot of money. And I know on my behalf, I'm going to expect some of it up front. I'm not going to put months into a project and then at the end, she doesn't pay me. I'd have to get a certain portion of it up front, a certain portion of it halfway through, and the rest at the end. And again, I said, I don't know that you'd make money on the book. I mean, it's a marketing tool. You can certainly use it as a marketing tool, get your name out there more and things. It helps your company. But I don't know if you're going to make money on it. So I think she was a little bit downcast by the end of the conversation because I think she was really excited about it at first, and then she realized all the stuff that goes into putting together a book, and was like, maybe that's not a good idea. I don't know. So we'll talk more about it later. But have you ever had that where you've had to tell a client, your project's a lot more than you think it's going to be. And it's going to be more expensive than you think it's going to be. Even if you get an advance from a publisher, a book still not going to make a lot of money right up front. An advance probably wouldn't cover all of the cost I'm going to charge her. So she was downcast about it. If you had a situation like that where you've had to explain to a potential client that her project may not be what she expects it's going to be, or how it might not be as lucrative as she expects it to be, and how did you handle it? I'd really be interested in finding out, because I felt kind of awkward about telling her, yeah, but I don't want to be too pessimistic, but I'm giving you the layout of the land here. But I thought it was my duty to do that as well, because I've been working with her for years, and I do a lot of work with her anyway. Anyway, I'd like to hear what you think about it. Please comment down below and hit the like and share button because I'd like to get this out so other people can comment on it as well, because I am interested in hearing how other people might have handled it. And until next week, take care.